What's up, guys? How's it going? Everyone good? Hey, I only started early just so people can get those notifications and they can get in here. We're probably going to start at 7 o'clock on the dot, okay? Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Just sending out the last couple of notifications before we start. Let people know that this is happening right now. Edit recipients, Georgia consulting classes, Kickstarter backers. All right. Okay, good. Everybody can hear me clearly. So yeah, we're gonna start in about 10 minutes. All right, 10 minutes to begin. 10 minutes before we begin. Think about all those questions you want to ask about the investment. This is a pretty big deal. We're gonna start in September, and it's gonna be huge. All right, so you definitely want to be there and check it out. All right. I'll be right back. Just be in the comment section like you always are.
How many people?
I just started early just to go and get people there. All right, we can always get the conversation going now. First of all, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for taking your time to go and get into this conversation, and eventually investing in Black Sands Entertainment. We've been doing pretty damn good for the last 2 years, and now it's time to really expand. And in order to expand, we're going to be raising capital in order to make three Netflix level animations, right? Of which you will be part owners in. This is probably the only time we're ever going to open it to the public, right? And we're doing that because we feel like it's fair. A lot of companies out there I've seen, black creative companies and stuff like that, they don't like sharing with their community, man. They'll go out there and they'll be raising like $1 million and still give nobody shares. They'll be like, hey, we're raising $1 million to open some place, and all those people who are giving it to them ain't gonna share in their success. That's a lot of money to raise. It's not like it's a $10,000 Kickstarter or something. That's a lot of money, and yet people still hold on to their stock. Well, with us, what we're going to do is we're going to be opening up our company. We have specific measurables and all that good stuff, and we're going to be sharing it with you guys. And we're going to start the Q&A maybe at about, I say 10 minutes. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you about what we've done in the last 2 years. Basically, Black Sands Entertainment, has been a book publisher for the last 2 years. We've been making comic books, children's books, novels. We sold 25,000 copies of our books, physical books. right, to customers all across the nation. Some of you guys here right now are recipients of our books, right? We also create an animation, which is almost done. Our DVD is actually almost about to be released to the public. That's going to be pretty dope, you know. And then we also have a whole bunch of other crazy stuff that's going on. You know, it really is wild, and it's definitely something that you really need to be like paying attention to the kind of stuff that we've been doing for the last year. It really has done amazing things, you know, and I am excited about. I'm excited about the future. You know, especially what's going on right now in our company. You know, we could really grow to be one of the biggest companies out there nationally. And, you know, it's just a matter of time before we actually get it done. And that's why, you know, today we're going to be talking about it, all right? So first of all, anybody have any questions? Any questions at all about what's going to be happening with this investment round, all right? This is the chance for you guys to ask your questions. I'm going to be calling your name out, and then I'm going to be answering your questions, all right? Oh, okay, let me go see. Do-do-do-do. All right, so Katya's mom asked a very simple question, right? A simple question that I guess everybody should be prepared to get an answer from, and that is return on investment. All right, so with return on investment, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently from everybody else. Most people promise dividends, right? They're like, hey, we're going to get dividends in a couple of years. We're not going to do that, okay? We're not promising dividends at all. Instead, what we're going to do is just simply rapidly expand the value of all of the shares in the companies for each IP. Now, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be investing in stock, and you're going to be receiving one share. For every investment that you make, you're going to receive one share from each company that we're going to create. We're creating 3 companies, which are basically production committees for Black Sands, Cosmic Girls, and Maury's Family Adventures. When we finish the pilot episodes for those and send them into film festivals, our company valuation will go from $1 million to $1.5 million overnight. All right, that is 150% increase on the valuation of your original stock. So if you're looking at a $500 stock, then most likely it'll be around $750 by this time next summer. All right. A year from then, we will be going public. When we go public, we're going to be raising massive amounts of capital in order to create the actual television shows for these entities. Now, those are going to massively increase your valuation, especially when they're done. By the time they are done, we'll easily be able to license those to Netflix, Hulu, Disney. I don't care who the hell license it to. The reality is, once it's created, somebody's going to jump on that because they're going to fear that somebody else is going to take it from them. So when that happens, right, you're looking at an increase of 10 to 32 times your value that you invested into the company. So if you're somebody who invested, let's say $2,000 for 4 shares, right? $2,000 for 4 shares, then your value could possibly become to $20,000 for the current value of your investment at that time. And if you want to sell it to some other person and just cash out and say, look at me, I made a lot of money, whoop-de-doo, that's your call. We're definitely not going to be paying dividends because we got a job to do, and that is to grow as fast as possible. All right, the value is going to be in the stock, which we have been growing over and over for the last 2 years. All right, let's see what else. What's the next question? All right, so Coop Farilla has a question. What comes with the investment, and are there tiers, investment levels? There are tiers. So most people are going to be coming in through common stock and stuff like that, Only influencers, all right, only influencers will be allowed to get preferred stock. Preferred stock will be going to influencers. These are celebrities. These are people of influence who can move stuff in very specific ways, right? These people are going to be doing more than simply investing their dollars into the company, all right? And there will be two tiers for that, yeah. But for the most part, that's how it works. Additionally, our biggest investors, so the people who put the most money in over the last 2 years, they're gonna have first dibs to go and put whatever they want in there. So if they've been saving up a lot of capital and they go and take a large chunk of what's available, that's just the way it is. You know, they have been the biggest supporters for us, and they weren't getting any stock at all at the time. They simply were supporting our company. After that, we're going to customers. That's people who have bought from us before, or people who have subscribed on Patreon, or people who have backed our Kickstarters. We're going to be sending them a private email so they can go and invest. And then after that, the public invest. All the way up to $300,000. Once we hit $300,000, we close everything out. We move forward with production. All right, let's see. Next question. 12 Love a Lot says, what is the price per share? $500. We're keeping it very simple. $500 is the minimum requirement in order to get in. All right, and that is actually one share that's going to be exchanged for one share for each company that we are creating. There's 3 different companies we're creating. Each one controls their own respective IP. All right, you're gonna get one of each, right? Basically 10% in total of each entity, right? And hopefully one of them bastards blows up. You know, you got 3 chances to win. Who knows? They might all win, right? All right. So next one is next question comes from. I think I already addressed that one, Orlandis, with that last statement. So let's move on to the next one. Pervertir Curie. I can't really pronounce it, but I'll let it go. My question is, when is the first round open, and what will the dates? What will the dates be for the first round? It's going to be in September. I have no clear date on when it's going to be in September, but it should be early in September. We're going to be starting this process. All right. I really don't have an exact date for you. I have to get a couple of things lined up at first, but you know, it's going to be basically in the beginning of September. All right, let's see now. All right, so 12 Level Out has a good question. It does not mean stock market, okay? We're not going to the stock market. We're not doing an IPO. We're not doing that yet, okay? That'll be next year. It won't be now. What we're doing is basically a semi-public offering. You're going to apply in a form, right, in order to invest with our company, and then once approved, we're going to give you the invoice for your stuff, you pay it, and then we'll issue you your shares. That's how we're going to be doing that until we hit $300,000. So while anybody can apply and anybody can invest in the company, we're not going to put it on a stock exchange market at all. All right, we don't want institutional money yet, not yet. You know, we want to keep everything in house. That way, if everything blows up a year from now when we go public, you know, then all those people who invested in us at this point in time, the people who are basically fans, who really had nothing more than just fandom to going by them, that they come up too, you know. That's the only way you're really going to be able to come up in this world, is if you jump on something early, right, and hold on to the reins until it blows up. So, you know, I wanted to give you guys that opportunity. We could have easily raised this money by just going to a couple of, you know, high income people and just raise the money from them. But we wanted to keep this, you know, like an event. Have as many people as possible in this. That way, you guys can basically reap the rewards completely. And it's not that much money to invest when you think about it. Think about it this way, right? You can get a speeding ticket for $500. You know, You sometimes you might have to go and repair your car because of some dumb mess happened and spend $2,000. It's not that much when you think about the barrier to entry. However, right, those things ain't gonna return anything to you, and they're random events that happen all the freaking time. This is something that if you put 2,000 in and Black Sands blows up and our projections are correct, right? You said there'll be 32 times the value that you put into that actual stock. So if you put in $2,000, and it's worth $2,000, and then it has 3,200 times valuation, you're looking at freaking like $64,000 that's a return to you on that $2,000 investment within 5 years. So this is some wild stuff, man. All right. Make sure if you have any questions at all, anybody watching on the screen right now, if you have any questions at all, please leave your questions in the chat and I will get to them. Right now, we're going to go continue with Pervertier's question, right? And the question is understood. And you mentioned licensing. What will have an effect on your ownership of the brand? All right. So, licensing is pretty simple. The main company will own most of the licensing rights. However, merchandise and television and film will be owned by the smaller companies. These companies are going to completely own those things. And what we're going to be doing is licensing like the ability to print a shirt with a SAR on it or something, right? Because we don't want to print the shirts. We don't want to go out there and print thousands and thousands of shirts. We'd rather Walmart did that crap, all right? It doesn't change anything at all as far as our ownership of the product, but it does allow it to scale rapidly, right? And we reap all the benefits because we don't have to pay for any upkeep. We just simply license it off and get a check every time they print a shirt, you know? Any other questions? Do you have any other questions regarding the investment? And do you have any other questions regarding, just the brand, Black Sands, Cosmic Girls, Maury's Family Adventures, stuff like that? Oh yeah, and by the way, I just want to let you guys know what my animation director said that basically this is what he said. I'm pasting it right now in the comments section so you can read it yourself. Let's cut that out. Boom. All right. All right, so that's basically what he said. He says licensing does not affect our ownership of the brand. The respective product companies collect license fees for distribution and broadcast, and for anyone that wants to pay a license fee to make products based on our brand. So that's the real logistical answer for licensing. People want to pay us in order to basically make money off of our brand, and we collect all the money. This is what Marvel does. All right, Marvel basically says, "Hey, I'll let you print Spider-Man lunchboxes. You owe me this much money," and they go, "Okay, here you go. We'll pay you this much per Spider-Man lunchbox we sell." All right, so 12 Love Lot says, who else is promoting the content? There's a crap load of people promoting the content. Black Sands is pretty damn popular, so we're as far as promotion goes, we can really make some big plays pretty fast. We're really good with that. We got some celebrity friends and everything else. A lot of influencers out there in the space of anime and manga and all that other good stuff. He says, as far as promotion, I'm not gonna go drop any names right now. We gotta push harder into our marketing side before we start narrowing down on who the heck we're going to be investing in to go and push the stories. But we got some pretty big bangers on deck for that. All right, so let's see. Profess Music, right? He says, are you going to provide historical financial data of the companies so we can make a more sound financial decision? All right, basically what we're going to do is we're going to give you, I got to make sure I talk to my corporate lawyer first, right, to see what I can disclose, right, whether it's helpful or if it's just too much information. But basically, we're most likely going to give you our 2018 tax returns for our corporation. All right? Our 2018 tax returns will be something that you'll be able to look at yourself, usually through the emails. All right? So if you're on our email list right now, you'll be able to get those financials and you'll be able to see exactly how much money we made. On top of that, you also have public record from Kickstarter where we raised $140,000 over the last 2 years from just popular Kickstarter campaigns and close to like $80,000 through Patreon. So you said that's on top of our $220,000 in sales last year from regular sales. So as far as like the financials are concerned, you're definitely going to see it. You'll be able to see it for yourself, but we are easily in the top 3 independent anime, comic, manga brands out there, period, in the nation. We've really killed it the last 2 years. All right, let's go to Batiste. Okay, let's see. You mentioned a model where our initial investment will increase by 30 times. Can you share the model or talk about it? So basically, there is expected returns on investment, right? These are expected growth of the valuation of the companies after the entire show is created. That means like 12 episodes or 8 episodes or however long the season is for each show. Cosmic Girls, which is more like a Saturday morning cartoon, right? These type of shows, Cosmic Girls, will probably be around $9.5 million evaluation by the time we're done with the show. Maury's Family Adventures, because it has more educational content and more international appeal, will most likely be $12.5 to $13 million evaluation by the time it's done with its series. And then Black Sands, because Black Sands is a Shonen Jump series with a hell of a lot more merchandising opportunity than everything else, could potentially get up to a $32 million evaluation by the time we're done with season 1. So that's where our numbers are coming from. When you're coming in at the investment, you're coming in at $1 million evaluation. So that's why we say 32 times the investment is what the number we might be coming with soon. Oh, and Devin, just a quick answer for you, even though you're asking a question, which basically everybody else had asked, is $500. That's how much it's going to be. Each individual stock is going to cost about $500. All right. What's the maximum number of stocks a person can buy? We're limiting it to $50,000 worth of stock. All right. That's the maximum we're going to allow any group to invest in. We want to kind of diversify the portfolio. We don't want we don't have too many powerful people in there. Let's see what else. What was it? Mix Gordon. All right, Mix Gordon. Yes, all 3 IPs are in there. They're separate companies, but you are investing in all 3 at the same time. The reason for that is simple. We don't know which one's going to blow up, right? Who knows? Maybe only Maury's Family Adventure blows up, right? Maybe that's the only one that gets a big contract, gets licensed, gets everything else, and the other 2 kind of just wash out. Who knows, right? At least you have that company right there successful, and if the other 2 companies fail, right, because they just don't get off the ground, then those 2 can't kill the third. Right? The third had his own success. The other 2 go bankrupt. and we all win, right? That's how you play the game. You make sure to separate all the entities from each other so they have their own sink or swim. If they swim, great. If they sink, they're not killing everybody else in the boat. You understand? So that's what's going on. But as an investor, you are investing in all three properties. We're giving you stock in all three entities in order to basically diversify your portfolio in our company. You understand? All right. Any other new questions? Shoot me up. Hit me up with some new questions. Come on. Let's see what else he said. Okay, I got more information from our animation director, so I'm gonna go and paste that into the comment section. Let's see. Revenue will come from this to this to this, and all right, so this is what he said. He said revenue will come from fees we collect on distribution of the animation, both theatrical and television, and streaming, as well as licensing and merchandising revenue on products once the brand blows up. The value of the brands grows as the animation hits theatrical and broadcast. Audience grows, and so does demand for licensed products. No, absolutely not. Tori Golden, we will not be paying dividends at all. All right, dividends is something way down the line. When we sell a show, we'll pay dividends. But until that day, we're not paying dividends at all because dividends totally mess up cash flow. Right, and we're expanding in every possible way in physical distribution, in animations, in school curriculum programming, and everything else. We just don't got the cash to go and throw out in dividends as well. Let's see. I don't know what that question really means. How much money do you need to start selling my own T-shirts? I have no clue what that means. Ronald Bruce, where is the Black Sand? When is the Black Sand series going to be released? Based on production, 3 years. If we do everything ourselves, right? That's raise the capital ourselves, make 12 episodes or more of a season. This is a very heavy load, right? And we do all this. It'll probably take 3 years before it's fully finished. But it'll be the best season of anime you've ever seen in your life. You know? It's going to cost millions of dollars too. But that's all right because we know we can raise that money. We have the momentum behind us. The license fee will be catastrophically high. Any other questions? You got vegetables and you went. You can't eat. I got pop. I eat pop. You give me more water. Go. All right, I believe we have exhausted the amount of questions for tonight as far as how many people are going to be getting answers for what their questions are. If we're good, well, if you're on our mailing list, then you will have the information. We've sent emails to everybody, and people have gotten on the investor mailing list. And I am the writer of I am the writer of Cosmic Girls and Black Sands, and Giselle is the writer of Maury's Family Adventures. Tori Golden, no, you just have to wait. So the question is, do we have to invest in any prior show or Kickstarter to invest now? And the answer is yes and no. So you're going to be able to invest, right? But you have to wait until we go through the first 2 rounds, which is the core supporters, the people who have backed us the hardest. They get the first lion's share of investments, and they can make whatever they want. And then once they're done, once their window has closed, the second round will be given, which gets all the previous customers we've ever had. We have all those people on email. We have all those people from Kickstarter, from Patreon, and from our Shopify store. So we have all those people already set up. And we're going to go and email them directly and say, now is your chance to go and invest. After they're done, we're going to go to the general public. So if you haven't done anything prior to that, just wait for the round to come. Hopefully there will be some shares left, you know, because once we hit 300,000, we're stopping. But hopefully there will be shares left for the general public, and then you guys can invest. The easiest way, Wendy R, to get your kids invested in this is just go to my YouTube channel. You're on it right now. Go to our videos from the past, the ones where we have our episodes, and let them watch that. Well, the reason why we're only raising $300,000 is because we want to make the full animated pilots for all three things without raising too much equity. Like we don't want to give away too much equity of our companies in order to do this. You know, we just want to have 10% of our companies given out to the general public. Once we're done with our pilots, because the pilots is the first stage. Once we're done with our pilots, we're going to actually submit those to film festivals all around the nation. So film festivals, all those places that you would normally see, like at, black film festivals, we're going to be all over the country at every single film festival with our animated films. And once we win a couple of awards, a whole bunch of awards where we're clearly showing that we're basically the brand influencers, we're the people, the best ones out there independently, that's when we're going to do a serious raise of millions of dollars by going public with an IPO. All right, so we're only raising just enough capital to get that stuff done based off of our sales previously. You know, we're basing all this off of our previous success, so we're not making like some crazy ass number and then saying, hey, we're worth $1 million. We have a value of $3 million. We're not just guessing that number. It's based off of real sales and influence and growth. That's real things. And you know, anything higher than that is just being super greedy and non-realistic. You know, 10 times sales is completely 100% normal in any tech industry. So we're going to be doing that, and hopefully you guys will get the huge benefit from that, as well as us. You're going to be able to track all of our progress, because we're always active on social media. We're always telling you guys what we're doing, and who knows, we might all blow up together. Well, it's very simple, Gordon. As far how can we find out which investment tier we might be in? Have you ever bought anything from us? If not, then you're in the third tier. If you bought something from us before, you're at least in the second tier. If you spent hundreds of dollars on us, then you're probably in the first tier. That's it. And we got all the receipts. Let's see, what else? Ankh. So Runoko Ankh. The kids are going to be interested immediately because Black Sands is incredible. Oh yeah, that's actually true. Thanks. Yes, that is true. So Lucan Jean Baptiste says, if all three iPlease blow up, does your model foresee our initial investment to grow more than 30 times? Well, when we say 30 times, we're talking about the very moment, right? The very moment it is picked up by a license, by whatever, right? When we license it out. This does not mean that it might not far exceed that within 2 years. Because once the show airs, the audience is going to get catastrophically bigger and license demand will go through the roof. If you hold on to your stock, oh yeah, and by the way, we will be splitting the stock eventually. Eventually, we're going to split the shares so you can actually sell some of your shares, you know, and still keep a majority of your shares. So you can actually cash some in, right? But still hold on to the lion's share of your investment, because you don't really want to sell this, right? We're not selling our company, and you shouldn't either. You shouldn't sell your shares. But if you have an extreme growth, like 50, 60 times the original investment, and we split the shares like 10 times or 100 times, you should sell some of them just to go and, you know, ball out a little bit, have some fun, enjoy life, you know. You know, but you know, this is the assumption that the license will be picked up. It has nothing to, the model has nothing to do with actual licensing way down the line with toys, with with competitive bids for season 2 and season 3 or any of that crap. That's completely different. All right, let's see. Miss Che says, so if you're a patron and have a character in the series, what tier is that? Well, if you got a character in the series, then you're probably tier 1 because you've paid hundreds of dollars already. There's like almost no way you're not tier 1 in that situation. You know, you'll be a first round person in order to invest in the company. You'll be able to buy as much as you want. So if you want to take out $20,000 worth of stock for yourself, you could. It's your choice, right? Especially if you're a character. I know for a fact you spent at least $500 if you were a character in our series, you know. So hey, ball out. Well, you need to sign up for our email list. Let me see what Tiana says. Something else. Let's see. All right, so let's go and talk about this. So my animation director just gave me this information. I'm going to relay it to you guys. All right. All right. So he says that you can mention that Pixar's car franchise. All right. So Pixar's Cars. Remember Cars, the stupid like animation about cars, talking cars, right? He said it has surpassed $10 billion in revenue from licensing and merchandising alone. So that's not them actually making toys. That's them simply licensing it out. He said alone, not even including the box office revenue of the original film, which cost only $85 million to make. So in other words, they made a film for $85 million, and then they generated $10 billion off of the toys. That's real animation economics. So while the film might get us to a 32 times evaluation, the toys themselves might go through the goddamn roof. Wendy R says, if we fall within the last tier, the option to invest decreases. No, you just have less likely chance of getting as much as you want. So if everybody buys up all the stock already before you even get to that point, then you don't have much options left for whatever's left over. All right. Third tier means that you will be investing last in the process. Who knows? Maybe there's $100,000 left over, and then people can go and gobble that up. Right. We also are not going to be allowing people to take too much of the pot by single solo. So in other words, unlimited buying power for the first tiers, right? The first tier people, they can do up to $50,000 individually if they feel like it. Second tier can go up to $10,000 max, and then everybody else has the same exact cap, about $10,000 max. All right, that's we just want to keep it nice and diversified. We don't want too much people having too much voting power in our company. Additionally, people who haven't invested in us over the last 2 years, and we had plenty of opportunities to invest in us, we definitely don't want them to have a lot of power in our voting process, period. It's just natural to protect your company from newcomers, right? You want people who've been around for a while to have the most voting power. Yes, merchandising is a big key part of this, and it is included. All right, merchandising is a part of this investment. All right, any other questions? Any questions about the brands? Any questions about the audience that we're going after? Any questions about how we want to implement into schools? Anything you got about those, give them to me. I'm going to stay on here for about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to close it out. We just printed out some posters. We're going to be able to put it on very soon. It's coming out It's coming around our corner. Should be out for the next 2 weeks. We're waiting on our bags, because once we get a bag, we're going to have basically a $100 bag, and it's going to have all the books we have ever created in it, with 2 posters and all that good stuff, all wrapped up in an actual custom Black Sands Entertainment bag. It's going to be pretty dope. Oh, and special consideration for you guys. We're most likely going to do all of our animation in Unity. All right, and the reason for that is because we want to make video games. We want to be able to straight up convert all of our assets that we create for animation directly into video games. So video games will basically have the exact same graphics as they would in our animations. You understand? So when you see a SAR, it's literally as if it's a SAR from the TV show. How dope is that? Cut the middleman out. By the way, if any of you guys are in New York, I'm going to be at the Hester Street Fair tomorrow. That's over in Manhattan. And I'm going to be there most of the day. Selling my books, signing autographs, all that good stuff. Yeah, when it comes to release schedules, I'm not going to go into specifics on that one. There's a lot of crap going on in Black Sands Entertainment. I think I have it posted somewhere. Release schedules. It's too many things. There's way too much stuff going on in our company for me to even be able to think clearly about which ones are going to be released when. We got like 4 different books being worked on right now at this very moment, not including the animations. Yes, I will be at I will be at New York Comic Con as well. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the sign up sheet for the freaking for investor signups. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Here it is. If you want to sign up for our investors list, that's the email. Just go ahead, click on there, and sign up. Let's see. Owen Randall says, I assume you're going after the children, correct? No. So there are specific age ranges for each individual IP. Black Sands is high school and above, all right? So we're looking at teenagers, adults. That's the fan base for Black Sands. Cosmic Girls, middle school, specifically girls, obviously. right? But it has a lot of sci-fi, awesome stuff that boys will probably like too. So it's good for both of them. And then you have Warriors Family Adventures, which is purely for children, especially in the education department. We're planning on dominating education with Maury's Family Adventures. So those are the two general audiences we're going after. We also are going to be signing other people into our company that fit other niches that we do not focus on. All right. So I know you guys seen Sword of the Free, right? We like that book a lot. We like how it resonates with our audience. It's for an older crowd, but we're thinking about picking that one up as well. So video games would fall into licensing. So yes, it would be. Yes, video games is considered licensing. Video games is always considered licensing. So you're good to go when it comes to the investment on that side. You will be involved. Whoever plays them. See, what age ranges, age ranges is very weird for video games. Nobody really shoots for age ranges when it comes to video games because there's niches. You'd be surprised how many 8-year-olds play freaking Overwatch, right? Even though you go on TV and you see all these freaking adults playing Overwatch, right, in tournaments and esports, there's still like a massive amount of people playing Overwatch that are 8 years old. You know, so so when it comes to video games, there's no specific age group you're going for. It's a genre that you're focusing on and trying to dominate. I need to do this more often because I'm getting fatigued. I'm a little, I'm a little tired. I don't know why. Ah, that one. Okay, so the one that you see on IG, that's the one that we funded on in 2018. It's almost done, so we're about finished with it, and then we're gonna have a DVD created for it. All right, you can buy a DVD, have all the episodes on there, and the animated pilot. That animation is about 10 minutes long. The supplemental content from the motion comics is another 50 minutes. So in total, it's about 60 minutes worth of content. You're also going to be paired with an official hip hop album for Black Sands, and it's a legit hip hop album, which is going to be released with that. That is from phase one of Black Sands operations. Phase two is we're partnering with one of the best animation directors in like the history of animation, and we're gonna go and create Netflix level animations for our IP. So the stuff that you see on Instagram right now, that is not what you're investing in. That is like the basic like it's like the prototype of what could be. That's what that is, right? Even though it's great, even though it's actually pretty damn good and consistent with most anime nowadays, it is not Netflix level. We're going for Netflix level, and we're gonna be doing it that way. Well, I don't think there's any reason why someone in Europe or South Africa or Brazil wouldn't be able to invest. They invest in American companies all the time. I don't think there's no international laws stopping you guys from investing. You know, and your dollars have more weight anyway. The euro is more valuable than the dollar, so should be able to invest a lot more. Yeah, but I don't think there's no international laws to stop you from investing in this American-based company. Is that it? Is that all we got? All right, well, that's that. Thank you so much for joining with me tonight. I am glad that everybody got their questions asked. And don't worry, your questions that you asked today are going to be seen by other investors in our company. They're going to see all this so they can go and learn more about what we're doing as well. So don't think that you only got answers for yourself. You also helped a lot of other people get answers as well.